Welcome to Our Community, Our Money, the entrepreneur in you. My name is Jermaine Washington and I'm your host. Today's show is about how experienced and successful entrepreneurs have partnered with HCC's Entrepreneurial Initiative staff to help our students and community reach their entrepreneurial goals. Before we talk to our first guest, David Regenbaum, I wanted to remind you that the deadline to register for the business plan competition is January 30th, 2019. This was the topic of our last episode and a huge opportunity for anyone that would like to compete to win prize money to help with their business goals. And it also teaches you how to write an effective business plan. We have posted the information on our screen. I would like to welcome Mr. David Regenbaum to the show. Hello, David. Welcome.
Thank you.
The first thing I wanted to ask you today is to tell us a little bit about yourself. I hear you from South Africa, and I wanted to hear about your journey from South Africa to America.
Thank you, Jermaine. I was born and raised in South Africa, became an attorney, practiced law in South Africa until 1979. When I immigrated with my family to Houston. My wife and three young daughters came to Houston. The Houston bar would not recognize my law degree, and I decided to go into business as an entrepreneur, managing homeowners associations and condominium associations. And fortunately, it was very successful, and today I'm living the American dream. I've had a successful business, sold it 3 or 4 years ago, and joined HCC.
So what made you decide to come to America? What made you decide to leave South Africa and come to America?
I think my wife and I had different reasons. She was more concerned by the social inequalities in the country at that time, and I was more concerned with the economic situation. I felt that the country had no real economic future, and I wanted to go to a country that offered me that future, and America was the place.
Wow. I'm glad that you came to America.
So am I.
Okay, so I understand that you partner with HCC. You're our entrepreneur in residence. How did that all begin?
It actually began as a result of the foundation. While I was in business, we used to give our customers gifts at the end of the year that were not really meaningful to the customers. And one year we decided to change that and to give donations to worthwhile organizations instead of spending that money on gifts. One of those organizations, which was selected by our staff, was HCC Foundation. We got thank you notes from the organizations, but the thank you note from HCC included a thank you from the recipient of the foundation, of the scholarship that was given from that donation. And it was so heartwarming and meaningful that HCC Foundation was always a part of the donations that we gave each year. And I was then invited to join the board of HCC Foundation and landed up as current president of the foundation.
And so that's how you segued into being the entrepreneur in residence?
The entrepreneur in residence, when I joined HCC and became involved with HCC, I met Dr. Zach Hodges, and he spoke to me about entrepreneurship and becoming an entrepreneur in residence. He gave me the opportunity to be the entrepreneur in residence. He gave me an office at the A-Leaf campus and a parking space. And as a result of that, I started the entrepreneurial journey with HCC.
That's great. So what type of activities did you do as an entrepreneur in residence working with the staff?
One of my fundamental aspects of looking at entrepreneurship was I believed in practical entrepreneurship, not in the theory or the academic aspects of entrepreneurship. And we started developing practical entrepreneurship workshops that were designed to encourage and assist entrepreneurs in starting and growing their own businesses. And this was the basis of the Practical Entrepreneurship Workshop program that we are developing.
So now the entrepreneurship program has expanded and you've brought on additional entrepreneurs in residence to be at the other colleges. I know that we have one at the Southeast campus and we have one in Northeast campus. How did that come about?
The idea that there are 6 HCC colleges, and the idea is to have an entrepreneur in residence at each of the 6 colleges, so that we can expand this program. Houston's such a broad-based city that we felt it was necessary to have localized talent at each of the colleges in the various segments of HCC, Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, Central, and Coleman College.
And we're going to have an opportunity to meet those entrepreneurs in residence in our next segment. But before we do, I do want to talk about you being the HCC Foundation president. And what type of activities are you doing to raise money for the foundation right now?
The foundation has, in the last few years, has given over 1,000 scholarships to HCC students. It is our mission that no student should ever come to HCC and not go to HCC by reason of lack of funds. That is our fundamental vision. But in addition to that, we feel that grants to faculty, assisting faculty with grants and programs that will help students, is equally as important. And a faculty member who receives grants, who receives the benefit of what the foundation can offer, will touch a lot more students on that basis. So we're equally focused now between scholarships and fellowships for faculty and programs.
Well, you know what? It was a pleasure to talk to you and hear about your journey and how you came to HCC and all of the wonderful work that you're doing. And I thank you so much for being here. I want to remind everyone to check out our Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program under the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Department, who will have a new spring cohort in 2019. You can get all of the information on this program at our website, which is www.hccs.edu/smallbusiness. This program continues to move forward towards its goal to help 10,000 small businesses. See if you qualify. We'll be right back.
HCC. So many reasons, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
HCC's online college is officially open. This not only means online classes, but also online degrees and certificates. You can now credential up anytime, anywhere. Join the fast-growing number of students getting their full college education from anywhere they use a laptop. HCC currently offers 32 fully online degrees and will offer 71 next year. You no longer have to find a way or time to get to college. HCC brings college to you.
Hey, Fluffy!
You wouldn't allow any of these other risks in your home. Why allow an unlocked gun?
HCC. So many classes, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
welcome back to Our Community, Our Money, the entrepreneur in you. I would like to welcome Ned Miller, Mr. Austin Tennett, and welcome back David Regenbaum.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today.
Good to be
So
here.
first of all, I'm going to ask Ned and you, Austin, about your backgrounds. I'm going to start with you, Ned. Can you tell me a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I actually had a fairly wandering way to get to where I am today. I started my first career was as a Marine fighter pilot and test pilot. After retirement, then I went to work in the human spaceflight program.
Thank you for your service. I just had to cut you off. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege. But I worked in the human spaceflight vehicle as a program and project manager, and then did some years with oil and gas upstream, offshore and onshore. And currently, in addition to being an entrepreneur in residence and a Silver Fox advisor, I also own my own operational risk management and senior leadership consulting company.
Wow, that's wonderful. So how did you get to HCC? Was it, did David recommend you?
Yeah, the most direct route was David and I, we were colleagues at Silver Fox Advisors, and I also helped him out with the practical entrepreneurship workshop. In fact, I'm one of the presenters on the first workshop, The Entrepreneur in You. And so David brought me on board for that effort, and I've been there for about a year. I started this past January on there, so it's been a fairly quick journey, very, very rewarding.
And Austin, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey?
I'd be happy to. So after a very long career in corporate America, I decided to take the entrepreneurial plunge yet again about 2.5 years ago. So similar to Ned, I too have a business coaching practice where I work with small and medium-sized business owners, helping them to get to the next level of exceptional performance.
Wow. So what company did you work for in corporate America?
Which one do you want? Which one? Which one? I think I'm proudest of, there was a couple. I worked for Ernst & Young, KPMG, in business development roles, but then in the middle of my career, I worked with a company called Pinkerton/Securitas Security Services. And that's where I earned my leadership stripes, as I like to tell people. I had a team of about 1,700 people, and I had a $42 million P&L responsibility, and it was an MBA on steroids.
Okay. So you came on board through David as well? Did David talk to you about this?
Very similar journey. When I decided to hang my own shingle as a business coach, I was looking for different organizations to join. Silver Fox Advisors was always one of those that I admired, and I was recruited in, and I met these gentlemen, and as they say, the rest is history. Like Ned, I've participated in several workshops. It's just such a delight to share knowledge with the HCC community, your various stakeholders. And so based on some of those work, I think Dave saw a little bit of promise and asked me to become an entrepreneur in residence working with Dr. Destry Dokes.
Wonderful. So that's what I was going to just say. David, how did you choose these men what made you pick these two to be in the program?
The key to the success of the program, in my opinion, is the practical aspect of it. And in speaking to both of them, there was a clear practical aspect to their approach to business. It wasn't a theoretical approach that I felt was good for a manager, but not meaningful for an entrepreneur. I just want to make one point, though. All of us do this as volunteers.
Right.
This is a volunteer service to HCC and to the small business community in Houston.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
It's an honor to serve, yes.
But now I wanted to talk to you a little bit, all of you, about your different areas that you're working on at the various colleges. Ned, would you tell me some of the activities you've implemented with the director of Southeast Entrepreneurial Initiatives, Brenda Rios? What have you been doing over there?
Now Brenda Rios Brombacher.
Now it's Brombacher, yes, recently married.
We put on a number of events throughout the year, and of course this has been the inaugural year out at Southeast on there. We've had events like Women's Boot Camp and also Marathon Empresario. And so the Women's Boot Camp was the English version, a day-long version, and then the Marathon Empresarial was, excuse me, was basically for the Spanish-speaking version for day-long. I've initiated events on girls in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, and there's various other events we have throughout the year. In 2019, we'll be doing those probably about once a semester there. And in addition to that, we do a lot of outreach to the community, both the business community and the community at large, and especially our geographic areas, East End and Southeast Houston. So there's a lot of neat potential, a lot of challenges, and so we're continuing to do that.
And you've also been helping with strategy for Southeast, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. That's wonderful too. Austin, would you tell me a little bit about what you plan on doing over there at Northeast, and what have you been doing over there at Northeast so far? I know you're very new to the program.
Very new, yeah, and the NEDS program is probably a little bit more advanced than ours, but we're, and I just want to maybe just take a little right turn, because Dr. Dokes takes a little bit different, a broader approach to entrepreneurship. It's not so much just a traditional way of putting people into business, but it's much broader than that. And Ned touched on it a little bit. It's just reaching out into the community and doing around some community enablement. As we probably all know, unfortunately, the northeast section of town is probably some of the most economically depressed areas that we have. But therein, I think, lies a great opportunity, because as we face very low unemployment rates, under 4%, those skill sets that are in those communities are now much more valuable to the to hiring organizations. So as a result, some of the programs that we've done in the past may traditionally not be considered entrepreneurial, but they are enabling people to get the skill sets. For example, working with AARP and that 50-plus demographic, helping them to get job-related skills so they can enter the workforce. Working with a couple of other organizations on similar things, working with some of the energy companies, because we all know that technicians in sort of the energy environments are in short supply. So going down to the high school level, preparing those individuals, getting them early to get them ready for those kinds of things. And the one thing that we're particularly proud of at our campus is that we know there's a big challenge just getting people fed.
Wow.
So we've teamed with the local food bank and have an on-campus food pantry where students are eligible to get food, and so that, if you're, it's hard to study if your belly is empty, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much for everything you're doing with HCC. We're running out of time on this segment, but I appreciate the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Program and all of the things that you've been doing. As you can see, the Entrepreneurial Initiatives Department has been implementing innovative programs to continue to provide our students and community with valuable, practical, useful information and resources. Speaking of that, please remember that the Corporate College is in partnership with the Texas Workforce Commission. They provided funding opportunities through the Skills Development Fund and the Skills Small Business Program that train employees. This information can be found on our website at www.hccs.edu/smallbusiness. You should definitely check it out. We'll be right back.
HCC. So many locations. So little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
I learned how to cook from my grandmother in the mountains of Oaxaca. Every time I need some comfort, I just remember what she told me. HCC definitely was a turning point in my life. What those wonderful teachers and instructors taught me is priceless. I have won many awards and worked in many restaurants. HCC was the window which opened the opportunity for me. For this wonderful city, they have given me so much. I will thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I didn't know where my life was going. With Wounded Warrior Project's help, I was able to get my life back in order. I thank Wounded Warrior Project not only for helping me, but also helping veterans that I know that are dealing with the same struggles that I am. Wounded Warrior Project understood what I was going through. I'm grateful that Wounded Warrior Project helped me reestablish my life. I am living proof.
I don't know an industry today that doesn't rely on some amount of coding to run their business. Coding is the 21st century equivalent of the English language. And our particular flavor of this is the iOS Coding and Design School. And Apple's been very supportive and in fact joined with us to roll out the start of this Swift programming initiative. So it's a great opportunity to combine creativity with science and technology, contributing to this app economy.
Welcome back, everyone. In this segment, we will be speaking to an entrepreneur that have graduated from our Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, Mr. Amit Behor, owner of the company Rocky Computers. Let's watch a short video clip about his company.
Have electronic equipment to recycle? What about sensitive data to destroy? At Rocky Computers Recycling, our specialty is certified e-waste disposal and secure data destruction for corporate clients nationwide. Rocky is R2 certified, EPA approved, and operates under the highest regulatory standards in the industry. With over 24 years of professional experience, we offer our customers a hassle-free end-of-life solution for their IT equipment, performed in a discreet and environmentally safe method. For your convenience, we work around your schedule to pick up your old electronics or on-site destruction of sensitive information, and we'll present you with a certificate of destruction. We pledge to handle all of your e-waste safely, securely, and responsibly.
Hello, Amit. Welcome to our show. That was a great video about your company.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
So tell me about yourself and how you found out about Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program at Houston Community College.
Okay. Well, I've known David Regenbaum for, I would say, a year and a half now. He helped us with some consulting work in order to take our business from where it was and to try to really take it to the next level and try to make it grow. During that time, David really highly recommended that I join the program, and I'm glad he did because it ended up being a very good experience for me. And that's how I heard about the program and went through the whole interview process and was accepted and was admitted into the program as under Cohort 21.
Cohort 21.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so great. So tell me, how did you meet David in the first place?
David was originally introduced to us in order to assist us with some consulting work for the business. So okay. we met him like that. Me along with my father, and we worked with David closely, and we still do. So okay. David has been a good asset and a good friend to us.
So it's a family business. So tell me about how it all began. How did you get started with Rocky Computers?
So the business was started in 1991 by my father, who was working for a gentleman for about 6 or 7 months and decided to take a leap of faith and go into business on his own. I joined the company right after I graduated from U of H, which was 15 years ago, and so I've been on board ever since. Started out on a limited scale, just getting into a business, learning the ropes, and eventually working through different departments and learning the business inside and out to where I am today.
So what exactly does Rocky Computers do? Can you give me some information on exactly what it does?
Sure. So in essence, we're an IT asset management company. So what that means is we help usually corporate companies. We help them properly dispose of their electronic equipment. We help them with their data security and logistics services nationwide. So we're basically a turnkey solution, helping them properly get rid of old electronics that are no longer useful to the company while taking care of all their security needs and compliance issues along the way.
How did your dad think to make this type of company? What caused him to say, I want to do asset management and IT?
Right.
computers?
In 1991, it was a business that wasn't as well known as it is today. Back in those days, there wasn't as many regulations, rules, and laws in effect. And in essence, large companies at that time really weren't as concerned about data security as they are today. So it was a type of business that was unregulated, whereas today there is so many rules and laws in effect. So we really have to maintain strong compliances for that. My father got started by he just got introduced to the right person, and really, I guess, had the vision to see that this is only an industry that will continue to grow as the IT world continues to grow.
Yes. So how did the Goldman Sachs program help you to take your company to the next level? What type of activities and things that you learned from the Goldman Sachs that you could say helped you?
Definitely, I would say it sharpened my knowledge in terms of finance. That's one aspect. And really, another big aspect of it is it changes your mindset from constantly being in the weeds, constantly working in your business, and taking you out of it a little bit so you can work on your business to grow it and to make the decisions that can really take your business to the next level.
So it takes you from more of a managing it to the more of the CEO broad.
Exactly.
Type of things. That's so interesting. So did you meet some of the staff from Goldman Sachs, Sandra Olivier and all of those people? Or
Absolutely, yeah. Manuel was the one running the show, and yeah, we met all the assistants, and everybody was really great to work with. I loved all the different thoughts and ideas that were brought to the table, as well as getting to know all the fellow cohorts, and you just get to see other business owners and the types of problems that they face, whether they're smaller in size than you are or much bigger. We find out that a lot of times we face very similar types of problems, and we can help each other out by discussing it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Amit, for joining us today and telling us all about your company. I really appreciate you being here. And I would like to thank all of my guests, David, Ned, and Austin, for coming to our show today. HGC's Entrepreneurial Initiatives Department is dedicated to helping you, no matter what stage you're in, regarding your entrepreneurial goals. So thank you all for watching Our Community, Our Money, the Entrepreneur in You. See you next time.